Hey everyone, it's that math magician. On this video, we're going to take a look at graphing, and more importantly, we're going to see can we find the midpoint of two separate points. And so we're going to jump just right into this example problem where I have a coordinate plane here, and I know that I have point A and point B. Point A is at 1, 7, B is at 5, 3. We want to see can we find the midpoint. Now you might be wondering, what is a midpoint? And really, a midpoint sounds exactly as you would imagine. It's the point that's in the middle of those 2 points. So what I just have to do is graph A, graph B, and then show you where we can find the midpoint. And there's actually a nice little shortcut that we can do to help us find the midpoint that actually doesn't involve graphing, but I'm going to first show you how we can graph it, and then I'll show you that shortcut. So let's go ahead and plot these 2 points. We know that A is at 1, 7. Remember, we have our X axis going horizontally, and we have our Y axis going vertically. So when we read 1, 7, we know that I'm going to go over 1 and then up 7 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there, I know for a fact is where point A is. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and graph B. B is at the point 5, 3. So I know, again, there's my X value. I got to go across 5 and then up 3. So starting at 0, 0, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3. I know that right there is my point B. I'm going to go ahead and get my ruler out real quick just so I can show you the line segment of AB, right? The line segment of AB is the line that connects to both of those points. Now, we want to find our midpoint. Okay, remember, midpoint is just the point in between those 2 points, A and B. And looking at the graph, I think it's kind of easy to see once we graph it, right? Where is the middle of that line? And some of you might go right away, oh, it has to be here at that green point because it looks like it's the middle, and that actually is our midpoint. Right? And now I can just go ahead and find the coordinates of that really quickly. It looks like I'm going over in the X direction 3 spots. So I would say the X value is 3. And then it looks like it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points up. And that right there, we can maybe label it M for midpoint, right? That is the midpoint of our line segment AB. Now, you can graph it, right? And when you graph it, you might be able to find the midpoint very easily. It actually worked out easy for us because the midpoint coordinates were both whole numbers, right? We had 3 and we had 5. Those are whole numbers, easy to see on our graph. But what happens if it's a decimal or a fraction or a square root or something going on, right? It might not be as easy. And so there's actually a nice little shortcut way to get your midpoint. And here it is. If I know the coordinates for A and for B, we see them right there, 1, 7, 5, 3. I can find my midpoint values very quickly. And let me show you how to do it. Let's focus in on our X coordinates for A and B. We have A and B. We see that the A was 1, the B is 5. What we want to do is we want to take 1 and 5 and we want to add them together. So I'm going to take 1 and I'm going to add 5. And what does 1 plus 5 make? I think 1 plus 5 makes 6. The last step we have to do is divide it by 2. Notice that if I take the 1 and the 5 and I divide by 2, I end up with the X coordinate of our midpoint. That right there is the shortcut. Just take the X values, add them together, divide by 2, you get your X coordinate for the midpoint. Now, let's see if that's going to hold up with our Y values. And I think it will. Let's take the 7, let's take the 3, and let's add them together, and then divide by 2. So let's see, 7 plus 3 makes 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now, I think that is a much faster way of getting the midpoint, but I know some of you out there might just want to graph it and visually see it. If that's what helps you, then great. But just remember that little shortcut. Take the X values, take the Y values, add them together, chop them in half, you'll always find your midpoint. It's that math magician, and I'll see you next time.